Bonjour, welcome back. Petit Louis Bistro is the perfect choice for an Albuquerque French restaurant. Little French flags embellish the tables along with simple but elegant place settings. We love elegance. Elegance is a good thing. And our Builder Source Kitchen, of course, is providing our fabulous chefs with a great place to show us how it is all done. We've got Christophe. And I won't even bother with the last name, as you said. Don't. He said, don't even try. He's the executive chef, joined by Christophe Griego, the chef de cuisine. Welcome to both of you. I was listening to you. Did I say Griego? It's Griego, actually. Sorry. I'm in French mind right now, and I cannot get my words out just right.
Griego.
Griego. And today they are making... You'll say it better than I will.
We are making Gratineed smoked salmon crepes.
And that's actually a good dish, whether it's dinner or breakfast, isn't it?
It makes a very nice breakfast, a great lunch, and a wonderful dinner.
See? You've got it all done. Now, you guys are known for skillfully knowing just how to make the right meal and really provide people with that feeling like they're in France, which is so cool. You bring Paris to Albuquerque.
Well, we stick to classics. We don't get creative on the food, and we're going to show you how to make a Mornay sauce today, which is a classic sauce. French, has been made the same way for hundreds of years, and I don't see why I should change it today.
Why should you? If it's not broke, don't fix it, right? So let's get started and show us some of the preparation that is involved before we even begin.
Sure. So pretty much in the crepes there are three main ingredients: the crepes, which I'm going to be doing, the Mornay sauce, which Chris is going to be making, and some good smoky Scottish smoked salmon.
Delicious. And you know, it doesn't have a really fishy smell, which I also appreciate.
No, it's very mild, and the Scottish have been making smoked salmon for as long as the French have been making crepes, so it works really well together.
Well, I'm excited to watch an executive chef who is French making crepes, because if anybody knows how to do it, it's you. So I'm looking forward to this. So now, how do we begin with something like this? So pretty
much we are going to start with the sauce, and we are going to infuse the bunch of spices, which Chris is going to tell you about, in milk. You start with cold milk. You add an onion with cloves inside. That's
really?
Yeah.
Put it in milk, Chris.
We got the onion with the cloves. We got
So you put the whole onion in?
Whole onion, right?
A whole onion, yeah, with the cloves, just to infuse in the milk. Couple of bay leaves, a little bit of white pepper.
You know, I was talking about that this week, white pepper. I didn't even realize they made white pepper. That's how out of it I must be, because I never knew that.
White pepper has really a different flavor than black pepper. Use white pepper in every white sauce, pretty much.
Oh, wow.
Some grated nutmeg, and don't be shy on that one.
It has a nice smell, the nutmeg.
A pinch of salt.
The nutmeg kind of always reminds me of the holidays. It has that kind of holiday smell.
And pretty much you let all those spices infuse in the milk.
Okay, and you would recommend using a whisk to keep it...
Yeah, just to stir it together.
Okay.
So all the onion flavors combined together.
Infuse and you're good to go.
Now, when you infuse it, do you use a medium heat or a high heat?
Medium to low heat, yeah.
Oh,
you just want to get the milk to come back to temperature just before the boiling point.
Okay, good. Very good point.
And now we're going to move on to the crepes. So the crepes, I have a very easy recipe for you. I call that the 4-3-2-1 recipe.
Oh, I like
Pretty much I'm using 4 cups of milk, 2 cups of flour, 3 eggs, 1 pinch of salt, and that's how it goes.
4, 3, 2, 1. I love it. That's great. And do you like to always use the brown eggs?
I like all my eggs are organic at the restaurant.
Yeah. I like organic eggs as well.
1.
He does that skillfully. I have to do the fork and the knife and then crack it open. It's always a mess. And I'm learning from the good chefs now. One of these days I'll
3
get it
eggs.
down.
You get your pinch of salt in there. And you stir that together.
Great.
Try to combine the flour in the egg. It's not always easy, and if there is a little bit of, how do you call that, clumps?
Yeah, the lumpies.
The lumps, exactly. it really doesn't matter.
It doesn't? Okay, good. So we don't have to get a completely smooth texture?
Well, as much as you can.
Okay.
But the lumps are going to go to the bottom anyway, and you won't be using them, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, this is, you know, it's like I said, sometimes French cuisine is a little intimidating for a lot of us who aren't professional chefs, but you're showing us a recipe that really can be done at home, and this looks like it's something fun.
Is as easy as making, and then you come back with your milk, and you add the milk a little at a time.
Okay.
That's what's going to help you avoid having those lumps, pretty much.
Ah, so it's the timing on the pouring. Just a little bit at once. Now this is continuing. Now, do you stir while it continues to sit here, or do you just kind of let it go?
Every once in a while, maybe, but it's good to go. You just got to infuse those flavors. If you want to get started on the roux,
go ahead and just finish that. There you go.
Perfect. I think this is a fun meal for families too, because you know the way you guys are helping each other out and doing the different steps.
Get one on the sauce.
Yeah, you could have one of your kids do one thing, let the kids
and then
stir up.
We got the fun part coming up later too.
The folding.
Before that.
There you go. Now Chris is going to finish his sauce while I finish the crepe batter.
So the second part of any sauce, and this is so common in French cooking too, that pretty much almost every cook should know it, is this basic roux.
The roux.
Which is just melted butter and flour.
That's
together
all
and make a paste, exactly. And then as soon as you put any of your kind of liquid, if you put milk, make a bechamel, put chicken stock, and make a velouté, just any different kinds of sauces. And it all uses the same base.
Oh, really? So when people, because when you think of French cooking, you do think of the roux, but I didn't realize it was actually so simple.
Yeah.
Good to know. So you're still mixing over there. You're letting the butter melt, and you're doing that on a high heat right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just got to get it liquefied.
High heat melts butter quicker.
Yeah. Shockingly, I believe that is true. That makes perfect sense. And we always joke around, but it's true. You've lived everywhere. You must notice the difference in New Mexico. When you're cooking, it takes so much longer to boil water.
It does, and actually, a funny thing, I experienced cooking in the Alps, the French Alps, which are much higher than New Mexico, and the water doesn't boil at the same temperature, actually. With the height, the water starts boiling at a lower temperature with the height.
Interesting.
And that's why it's very hard to cook pasta in the French Alps. The higher you are, the harder it is to cook pasta.
I bet. Well,
the butter, I'm going to let it sit. I recommend the batter to rest for about an hour.
Really?
I made another batch, and I'm going to bring it out.
Okay, so let the batter sit for an hour.
All I did was just put the flour in there, and it
thickened it
up.
See
how it's turned into a paste. And you just want to let that paste cook for a little bit.
Okay.
And it'll sort of fuse the butter and the flour together, and it won't separate, and it'll do its thickening job.
Okay. Yeah, it looks a little more doughy. And I just also want to talk about the fact that you do skillfully know how to do these French classics, and you leave them, like you said, Christophe, untouched and unmodernized, and that's what keeps it so delicious, and it offers a completely different experience than other restaurants, especially French restaurants, because you're doing something that's classic and timeless.
Classic dishes are classics because they are good. So why touch them?
That's such a good point. And doesn't that apply to everything in life? If something's already a classic and it's good, there's a reason for it. Why change it?
Exactly.
Keep it as it is. Okay, so you've got the paste.
The roux is made. You let it cook for just a few minutes, and then you start adding your milk a little bit at a time. And
okay. Oh, so you start adding. I see how you're doing it with the ladle. Okay. And now it's got that flavor from the nutmeg and the onion and the bay leaves. You really don't want to miss out on any of these ingredients, because I would imagine they're all so important.
Don't even try to rush it. Just do it slowly.
Okay.
One ladle at a time.
Yeah, and keep in mind when you're watching this, of course, we are, we're on TV, we're on a time frame, but when you are at home, as Christophe said, I think it's much smarter to just take your time with it, make it right. If you notice us doing it a little faster here, you realize it's only for the purpose of the show. Now, I also want to give people information where they can go. Of course, if you want to go to Petit Louis, it is located at 228 Gold Avenue, Southwest downtown, open for lunch, for dinner, Monday through Saturday from 10:30 a.m. until 5:30, and also available for private parties, evenings and weekends. The number to call for reservations is 314-1111, and the web address is also there on the screen right below us. So, this is a great place to go, but the nice thing is you're also giving us some options if we want to stay home and make your kind of a meal.
Exactly.
Ooh, look
so
at
here
that.
I'm going to start making the crepe. I use butter. I can't believe it's not butter. I'm sorry. I shouldn't talk about it. It doesn't taste as good.
No, it's French. Come on. We have to have a little butter in the French meal.
I'm going to borrow the ladle.
Now we have a little less than a minute, so give us an idea, because when we come back, we'll have a little more done and we'll taste everything. But
I'm going to make the crepe, and then it's very easy. You use that sauce. You put a little bit of sauce in the crepe. You put a nice chunk of smoked salmon. You roll your crepe. You cover it with sauce again. A little bit of that very nice Emmental cheese. You can also use Gruyere cheese, Comté cheese, or Swiss cheese if you don't have Emmental. And pretty much you just Put it in the oven under the broiler for just a few minutes.
That's it? Just a few minutes?
Just to gratinate, to give it a nice golden brown.
Oh,
wow.
And
here you go. You have crepes gratinate with smoked salmon and mornay sauce.
That's fabulous. And we're going to take a look at the finished product when we come back. Of course, you can get this amazing recipe by logging on to casa.com. We're eating after the break.